Hey, what it do? I'm your humbled and gracious host to Fast Family Affairs Sports Talk. And today, as y'all can see, I got with me my relative Drake. So he back and we gonna go on ahead and give y'all some content. Um, so I really didn't give you a heads up on what we was gonna be talking about today, but I think that you probably got a good idea.
AF South week, right? I mean AFC week.
Yeah, we are gonna touch on the AFC. I ain't know if you remember that. Um, but yeah, we are gonna touch on the AFC. Give a full breakdown. You know what I'm saying? The division by division. On how we think that that's gonna all play out. But ahead of that, before we get to that, um, it's some things I feel like needed to be addressed. And so we're gonna kind of kick this thing off, man. We're gonna kick this thing off with the myth, James Harden. We're gonna talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? Because I have never seen in my life, I'm 43 for the subs who ain't know. I've never seen a superstar so hated, so disrespected by the media, by casual fans, and more specifically by his own fans, like the fans of their own team. You know what I'm saying? As James Harden is. And so there's this myth, right? It's this propaganda, that gets spread about through the airwaves, on TV and in print and social media, that James Harden is this big playoff choker. He's all world, he's an MVP, he's a great player in the regular season, but when the playoffs come, he chokes it up, comes up small. He's a smurf. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't perform in the playoff the way that he performs in the regular season. So I want to address it. And as one of the, if not the biggest James Harden hater I've ever met in my life, you represent, the naysaying, Harden hating, down talking, side of the spectrum for all of America. So I'm going to give you the floor. You are a Houston, Texas native. You know what I'm talking about? And so you get to speak for all these fans and H Time, and for the media that likes to talk down about James and talk about how bad he is and how he don't never show up. So first off, before you get into your little soliloquy, I want you to name for me off the top of your head as best as you can, and you can take as much time as you need, all of the most memorable playoff collapses for James Harden that you can remember.
Collapse? Or you mean not
He choked, came small, he collapsed. However you want to put it, however you want to word it. Give me all the ones that you remember.
Of course, the big one for me was uh, the 26 missed threes in a row. That game alone, he didn't perform well, shot terribly from the field. I think he settled for threes in a clutch situation when Chris Paul's on the bench yelling at him to penetrate. If your shot ain't dropping and your team is missing three-pointer after three-pointer, you got to do what it takes to win. If that's penetrate, draw fouls, scrap, do something, claw. You know, you had the lead going into the fourth quarter, and you choked that up. That one is the first. The Spurs against Kawhi, he quit on us, point blank. He quit. He did like Kobe did that year. Kobe scored like 7 points or something in a game 7, pouting in a sense because he didn't have no help. And Harden did the same thing. He let Kawhi get in his head, and Kawhi shut that boy down. And then,
But wait, can I can I I'm gonna let you continue. But you say Kawhi got in his head and shut him down. Kawhi missed the last 2 games of that playoff series. Am I not right?
I was just about to say, then after
So,
the
so, so he didn't shut him down. He didn't get in his head if he's not actually playing in the series.
that whole series, the games that Kawhi and them played, in those games, in the clutch situations towards the end of those games, Kawhi locked him down. And then, like I was about to say, Ginobili took over. And Ginobili blocked the shot at the end of the game and all that. You know, the big block on Harden to end the series. So that one, he showed up small in the Portland series when Dame Dollar hit the game winner on us. You know, in that series, he showed up small. He didn't take over. He let Dame Dollar become more clutch in that series than he did. Um, Then of course the Warrior series. I'm not gonna say we wasn't favored to win those series. The Warriors had better teams, but of course the 26 missed threes, like I said, and the other situations where Kevin Durant is hurt. You know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to close these boys out, and it's your team. I know you had Chris Paul, and he was hobbling and all that, but he actually was playing in that series, and it's there for the taking. And you don't take over, you don't dominate. You're the best player, supposed to be the best player on that court at that time. Curry, Thompson, Harden, Paul, you the man. KD not on the court. You supposed to be better than all the rest of them. You supposed to show up and show out. You know, I never seen Harden go 7 games in a regular season, and all 7 games he don't perform. You know what I'm saying? So, so uh, I think ultimately in that situation, um, I need to see James Harden go 7 games consistent. And now I'm gonna say 7 games because it's in the playoffs. But in crucial situations in the playoffs, I need to see James Harden step up. Games 5, Game 6, elimination games. James Harden step up. Not Game 3, not Game 4, not just shoot and drop 42 and shoot 38 times to get to 38 points or 32, but actually be the James Harden in the regular seasons. He had clutch moments against Golden State in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the jumper and Draymond Green shots and all that. But when we get to the playoffs, those moments go away. You know what I'm saying? Last night was perfect stage. It's OKC. It's a team that you're favored to beat. You know what I'm saying?
You
It's Chris
breaking
Paul.
you breaking up more that you didn't moved away from where you was at first.
Hold
I
on.
don't know if it's your signal or what.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So I need him to step up in big moments on a big stage when the team needs him the most. When superstars step up, we've always discussed throughout the years, superstars step up in these moments. That's what make them superstars. You know, and in this playoffs this season, we seen the Murrays and the Mitchells and Dame Dollar and all them step up big in these elimination games. Go out on their sword. And throughout the Rockets' history, we've had those guys do that. And don't get me wrong, James Harden is an unbelievable offensive player. He's probably one of the best offensive players that ever played the game. But we don't see that James Harden in game 5s, game 6, game 7s for his elimination, series on the line, season on the line. You know what I'm saying? And step up. Yeah, he might, even some of them, he might score 30, but I guarantee you, he sucked up that whole, shot terrible, played terrible. He might have shot 20 free throws or something to get the 30 points, but he did not perform. You know what I'm saying? Even in defeat, Chris Paul got a triple-double, and he had some mistakes down the stretch that cost him their game. But the night before, 2 nights before, back against the wall, Chris Paul stepped up. He played big. And what Chris Paul did in that game, we haven't seen from James Harden. We've seen greatness through the regular season. But when it gets to those pressure situations, he comes up small. And another one was the Clippers. That Clipper game, 3-1, you know what I'm saying? We down 20, he disappeared. You don't go out swinging. Brewer, Josh Smith, and Dwight Howard stepped up big. Was it 3-2? I'm sorry, I might have had to. It was a 3-2, and we forced the game 7.
Mm-hmm.
And Brewer, Josh Smith.
So that was game 6. That was game 6. But he was in foul trouble. He was in foul trouble in that game. Am I correct?
Why is he in foul trouble in game 6 is game 7 a pressure situation when we trying to limit win a dog?
So now it's his fault he was in foul trouble. Okay, so let me
the fouls.
Huh?
Who created the fouls? He fouled, didn't he?
But we know how that go. We know how that go. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay, let's not act like, different referee crews call the game different. Some call it tighter, some call it looser. And James Harden is not, especially at that time, he was not a defensive type player where he's gonna be all up in somebody creating contact and fouls like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So for James Harden to pick up early fouls and be in foul trouble like that is, rare. It's a rarity. It was, but so let me go and start kicking down some of this nonsense that you threw out for my people. So let's touch on Portland, right? That Portland series, that was his second year in Houston. And so Dwight Howard was here, right? That was Dwight Howard's first year in Houston. He was there. Houston lost the first 2 games of that series. There's a guy named LaMarcus Aldridge who was on that team, who was the best player on that team, who could not be guarded by nobody on our squad. Don't look at me like that. I know you remember and you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. LaMarcus Aldridge gave our bigs the business.
Go look at those
business, dog.
Go look at those numbers for Dwight Howard.
They didn't match LaMarcus Aldridge. Hold on. They did not match LaMarcus Aldridge. And you know this ain't no mystery. This ain't no, I'm putting this out my hind part. LaMarcus Aldridge, them first 2 games when they took a 2-0 lead, gave us the business. Okay?
What? Giving them the business.
Hold on. So, during that time, game 1, James had 27.6, 6 boards, 5 assists. The second game that we lost, he had 18 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. I think they had home court. Or did we have home court? Regardless, game 3, he had 37.6 assists, 9 rebounds. That's a game you got to have if you down 2-0. Right or wrong? You got to have that game. You can't go down 3-0 to a team. He comes up big in that game. The next game, he got 28, 6, and 4. Then you got game 5. He had 17, 7, and 3. Elimination game. Houston is now down 3-2 in the series. Game 6, elimination game. 34 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds on 9 of 15 shooting. That's 60%. Now, all of y'all want to now all of a sudden be mathematicians and analytics lovers when it comes to talking about James Harden. But none of y'all loved analytics when Charles Barkley or the such is saying how analytics ain't basketball. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pick and choose when y'all love analytics and when you don't love analytics. When Allen Iverson was shooting the ball 40 times, who gave a damn if he shot the ball 40 times? It was the answer. When Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan was shooting the ball 35, 40 times, y'all ain't care. But it comes to James Harden, now you want to pull out your stat sheet and look at his field goal percentage and three-point percentage and anywho. So James Harden showed up in an elimination game where you tried to bring it up and say, oh, but in game 6, game 5, game 7, he don't show up. He had 34.6 assists, 4 rebounds. And Houston had the lead when Dame Dollar hit a 35-footer with Chandler Parsons guarding him to win the game at the buzzer. That's on Harden, though. Okay. Then you brought up the Clippers. You brought up the Clippers series, right? So in game 6 that you love to talk about, that y'all can't never let go, where James Harden had 23 points, he was in foul trouble. But this is what kills me, right? So James Harden that year, Dwight Howard missed 42 games. No Patrick Beverly. The boy Jones, power forward. What's his name? Donatas Montejunas wasn't there for most of the season. The power forward who used to try and shoot jumpers or whatever. You know who I'm talking about. You're a Rockets fan.
I got to think about it. Go.
Anyway, something Jones. So all of them was injured for the most part of the year. That's how you pick up Josh Smith off the street. You pick up Corey Brewer at the trade deadline and bring him in. James Harden, number 2 seed, that he basically did by his goddamn self. Because like I say, Dwight Howard missed half the season. He missed 42 games. James Harden, hold on, pimp. He led that team, held that team up, got them to the Western Conference Finals, led the team in scoring, led the team in assists, led the team in steals. You know what I'm talking about? Got them to the Western Conference Finals. And you want to talk about game 6, where he still had 23. But in game 7, elimination game, 31 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. This is the dude who don't show up in elimination game. Oh, but y'all want to bring up San Antonio, right? You want to bring up the Spurs where he quit on. Okay. Game 3. Now, by this time, it is tied 1-1. Series tied 1-1. We back at home. Kawhi Leonard, who shut James Harden down, according to you. 43 points, 3 steals, 5 assists, 2 boards. Game 4, 28 points, 2 steals, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. Game 5, 33 points, 10 assists, 10 boards. And at this point, we down 3-1. James Harden did put in work 3 straight games, balling. We still losing. Dwight ain't showing up. He was probably hurt. Eric Gordon ain't showing up. Nobody fucking showing up, excuse my language, to help the beard. So when he sits down in game 5 and like, these niggas, I need some goddamn help, y'all want to hold it against him and say that he chokes in the playoff. Is it choking? Really? And so you also want to bring up Ginobili with the block. from behind him. So now all of a sudden, on a jump shot, we are to criticize James Harden because he don't see the dude behind him that blocks his shot from behind him.
The man is 3 inches shorter than him.
Manu Ginobili is 6'4". James Harden is 6'5".
6'6". 6'6". Well,
James
6'5".
Harden is 6'5", bro. Kobe Bryant is 6'6". Michael Jordan is 6'6".
I gotta look at that. I don't know if Ginobili's 6'4", but anyway,
Ginobili's 6'4". Harden is 6'5". James Harden ain't like I'm trying to think of a jump shooter like Westbrook, who really gets real elevation on his jump shot. That ain't Harden. Harden don't hardly leave the ground when he finishes shooting. But regardless, I want to criticize you. Want to criticize the man for getting his shot blocked from behind him. Like that, you reaching. You reaching. That's all I'm gonna say. You're reaching, my nigga.
Like you used to do with Tracy McGrady.
Hold on.
Tracy was doing this every game.
Tracy never got out the first round of the damn playoff. Anybody can do it for 2, 3, 4 games. It's when you go down after round after round. Round after round, bro.
In the playoffs. That's not fair. See how it seems differently all of a sudden.
Hold on.
Tracy was 40 in that game.
Hold on. Let me say something. So I'm gonna give you your chance to repeat what you said. We can sing together, but we can't talk together. And when you trying to talk and I'm talking, I can't hear you. I'm sure they can't hear you neither. So I'm gonna give you the floor for a second. Let you try and bring in Tracy McGrady like his bum ass got anything to do with this conversation because he ain't nowhere in the same conversation with James Harden. But go ahead, you got the floor.
No, all I was saying is that you brought up about AI and the answer and the shooting percentage and analytics and how we might flip it when it comes to James. But it's the same argument that we're saying what you're bringing up now and these numbers you're trying to spruce up now. You wasn't saying that when Tracy was producing even better numbers in the playoffs and better numbers throughout the playoffs. He was averaging these numbers and never showed up small in any elimination game with the Rockets. He was always in the 40-point blowout game. He dropped 40 in that game. So when his teammates didn't show up and he did what he did when y'all was getting hurt and other players wasn't there during the regular season and the playoffs, we wasn't hearing no excuses from you about when it's Tracy. He's just a bum or he ain't winning. But if you go research Tracy's number in the playoffs, Harden ain't put up them games yet. Consistently, average. Go look at Tracy's playoff numbers in Houston. It went higher than his regular season numbers. When Tracy played in the playoffs compared to regular season, he elevated his game. Harden, who got 35 or 33 or 34 in the regular season, he ain't averaging that in the playoffs. That means his production went down. And he don't average that in the series. But if you go look at Murray and Mitchell right now, they're averaging more than they did in the regular season. Their games is elevated.
I'm glad
does that. This man dropped 17. Name Tracy McGrady dropping 17 in an elimination game.
I'm glad you brought that up. Now, number one, Tracy made the playoffs in Houston 3 times. Okay? He made the playoffs 3 times. Tracy McGrady was hurt a lot. I never brought up James Harden's shooting percentage. I ain't bring up Tracy McGrady's shooting percentage. The fact of the matter is that Tracy McGrady could never elevate his team to the next round. I don't care that you want to talk about what numbers he put up. You said in game 7, well, we got eliminated against Dallas. Tracy McGrady had 27 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds.
That's more than the average.
You said he put up 40. He put up
Last game.
That's the game we got blew out by 40. He put up 27 points. Game 6, he put up 37.
Okay.
Game 5, he put up 25. So I mean, that's that. The next year against Utah, he put up 23 in game 1, 31, 24, 18, 26, 26, 29. Like, that's what he did. We could not get out the first round. In game 7, he put up 29 points. Now he had a good stat line, 29 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds. That's a good stat line. You couldn't get your team out the first round. You couldn't get your team out the first round, and they lost by 4. They lost game 7 by 4. They lost game 6 by 12.
What series did Harden elevate his team to get out the round? Because, like I said, that game 6 was supposed to be eliminated. They were supposed to go home. So Brewer, Josh Smith, and Howard saved him that year to get out of that round. You know what I'm saying? The previous years, James did not use any to get us out those rounds. His teammates him every time.
Fam. See, you can't have you. Hold up, wait. You can't have it both. You can't have it both ways. Look. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways, bro. Like, it's called a basketball team. So if James Harden carries the team all year, if he gets you to the number 2 seed, if you get to the Western Conference Finals, he leads the team in scoring. He leads the team in assists. He leads the team in steals. I mean, at some point, can the people on the team pick up their doggone play some and help him? So you help him one game. They got all the way to the Western Conference Finals. The Western Conference Finals. So that means in the first round, they went through Dallas, right? 24, 24, 42, 24, 28, 8-2 in the elimination game. Then you go through the Clippers, like I said, 31, 8-7 in the elimination game. Then you got Golden State Warriors.
Just missed that game 6. They was up 3. They was down 3-1. They had to win 2 in a row.
They wasn't down 3-1. They won 3 straight. They won game 5. They won game 5, game 6, game 7. Game 5, he had a triple-double. 26 points, 10 assists, 11 rebounds. Game 6 is when he was in foul trouble and had 23. The team for once picked him up.
For what?
For what? For what? Because look, so they lost game 1. He scored 20 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. They lost. He come back in game 2. He put up 32.7 assists. Games 3 and 4, they lost.
Yeah, right? What's his stat?
He had 25 points, 11 assists, and 3 rebounds in game 3. He had 21 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds in game 4. Okay, so they down 3-1 at that point. He comes back with a 26-point triple-double to force a game 6. Game 6, that's when he in foul trouble. The team picks him up. He backdoor in game 7 with 31 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals in an elimination game that he don't never show up for. You know what I'm talking about? Then they get to the Western Conference Finals against Golden State. Game 1, 28 points, 9 assists, 11 rebounds. Game 2, 38 points, 3 steals, 9 assists, 10 rebounds. Game 3, he put up 17, 4, and 3. That was a bad game for him. He backed that up in game 4, which they was down 3-0 at this point. So they looking at getting swept 45 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds, 2 steals. That's what he do. Then game 5, he had 14 points. They went home. So you can say now you want to holler about the team, and that's his worst game of his career. We had 14 points, 12 turnovers. He had all of turnovers.
I did my research. I know there was one against the Spurs where he pretty much walked off the court. And I got to go back to what that playoff series was. But also, you just totally forgot that Chris Paul and that Golden State series is what helped us get to where we got before he got out.
No, not then. Not then. He came after. Remember, we didn't got to the Western Conference Finals twice with James Harden. Once with Dwight Howard.
Right. Okay. I'm talking about last year, no, the year before last, when he shot those 26 missed threes and all that. Chris Paul played big.
I'm gonna address that too. But so after losing to them in the Western Conference Finals, we faced them again in the first round of the playoff. Okay? We lose the first 2 games. He put up 17 in the first game. He put up 28, 11 in the second game. We lost both those games. In the third game, he put up 35, 2 steals, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. That's the only game we won. And these are blowouts. We lost by 26 in the first game. We lost by 9 in the second game. We won by 1 in the one game we won. Game 4, we lost by 27. He had 18 points, 10 assists, 7 steals, and 7 rebounds.
So hold up. So you mean to tell me in 5 games? That was a 5-game series?
It was a 5-game series.
He only scored more than 20 points twice?
No, you mean he only scored under 20 points twice? He had a 17-point game. He had a 17-point game in game 1. In game 4, he went 18, 7 steals, 10 assists, 7 rebounds.
18 points.
18 points. The other games, game 2, he had 28, 11 assists. Game 3, he had 35, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. And in the elimination game, he had 35 points, 2 steals, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. And they still got blown out.
So he couldn't elevate.
And he went 12 or 23, which is 52% from the field. Since y'all love y'all analytics and shooting percentages so goddamn much when it comes to James Harden. You know what I'm talking about? So then, let's fast forward to the next year. This is the first year with Chris Paul, right? First year Chris Paul is in Houston. We play OKC. Russell Westbrook just won the league MVP award. I'm just going to give you the point totals. It was a 5-game series. 37, 35, 44, 16, 34. That's what he put up in that series. They out of there. Next series, against the San Antonio Spurs. 20 points. Oh, this is the one so Chris Paul ain't there. Chris Paul ain't there this year. This is the series with I just talked about with Manu with the block from behind. That elimination game, he scored 10 points. So if you want to talk about bad elimination games, so far he's got 2. One against Golden State with the 14 points, 12 turnovers. And this one against San Antonio when, yes, I agree, he quit on the damn team. Okay? That was also Dwight Howard's last year in Houston. When he quit. Oh, no. He quit on the damn team first. And he admitted as much on Inside the NBA. Very next year. First year with Chris Paul.
Wait. So he couldn't elevate Dwight? Couldn't elevate his teammates? Go ahead, continue. Continue. Go ahead.
They did get to the second round. They did get to the second round of the playoffs while dragging the dead carcass of Dwight Howard. You know what I'm saying? He did do that. So This is Chris Paul's first year in Houston. They played Minnesota in the first round. They won the first couple of games. First game by 3. The second game they won by 20. Really, all their games they won by blowout, but they lost in a blowout. So in game 1, he put up 44, 8 assists. Game 2, he put up 12.7 assists. He played 30 minutes. Game 3, he put up 29, 7, and 7, 36, 3, and 4, 24, 12, and 5. Got them out of there. Next round, they played Utah. 41, 7, and 8 in game 1, 32, 11, and 6 in game 2, 25, 12, and 4 in game 3, 24 in game 4, then 18 in the final game. They won by 14, 21, 13, and 10. All of them was blowouts. Then you got the Golden State Warriors. 7-game series. He put up 41, 7, and 4 in game 1. He put up 27, 3, and 10 in game 2. So they won the first one by 13, lost by 20. They lost by 13 in the first one when he put up 40. In the second one, they won by 22 when he put up 27. Game 3, they lost by 41. Damn. They lost by 41. He put up 20 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. Backload the next game, game 4. So they won games 4 and 5. He put up 30 points, 3 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Then he put up 19, 2 steals, 4 assists, 3 rebounds.
Chris Paul's big game in that one.
Yeah. His big game was in game 5 that he got hurt in. And
no,
was
he got hurt.
He got hurt in game 5 at the end of game 5.
Right.
End of game 5, he got hurt. James Harden proceeded in game 6, which was we at home?
No.
We was at Golden State. We was at Golden State. He put up 32 points, 3 steals, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Game 7, he put up 32 points, 4 steals, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Now, this is an elimination game that, he don't show up. But you say he don't show up. Now, hold up. Now you say you put up the L, that he took the L, right? So this James Harden, this is also something exclusive to him, right? But this one man, no other superstars on his team at this point, because Chris Paul is hurt. But he's expected to beat a dynasty, one of the greatest dynasties of all time, by himself. And so you say, oh, wait, he went over 26. No, he didn't. He went 4 for 13 from the three-point line. No, I'm sorry. He went 2 for 13. 2 for 13 from the three-point line. That means that you had Trevor Ariza go 0 for 11 from 3. You had Eric Gordon go 0 for 7 from 3. Where was Lou Williams at?
Wait. He couldn't elevate his team?
So he could make them shoot?
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. The argument's not the same. So Tracy, if they shoot bad, it's his fault. You know what I'm saying? He can't make them shoot right.
No. I didn't blame him. I didn't blame Tracy for bad shooting. I didn't blame Tracy for him shooting bad or the team shooting bad. Tracy McGrady in Orlando and in Houston could not get out of the first round. Like, why you keep bringing up Tracy McGrady, bro?
Well, because we go back years with his argument. And with Tracy in Orlando, it was just Tracy. He didn't have no other superstars. Grant Hill stayed hurt. You know what I'm saying? But he was at it by himself, going against Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, Ray Allen in the book, Indiana Pacers.
He was in the East, and he wasn't facing no dynasty.
So who?
He was in the Eastern Conference, and he wasn't facing a dynasty. He also choked away a 3-1 lead versus Detroit.
That dynasty did not have him in Game 7 at home with a lead going into the fourth quarter. Point blank.
He was by himself versus a dynasty.
He had the lead going into the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter is 12 minutes, bro. And Golden State is one of the best dynasties ever. They had a collection of probably the greatest shooters of this era. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant on the same damn team.
I would love for you to pull up how many points he scored in that fourth quarter.
Who, Harden?
Yeah.
See, that's you're asking for too damn much, man. Now I gotta go down. Now I gotta find game splits and all that other nonsense. Fact of the matter is, he put up 32. He put up 32, 6 and 6, and 4 steals in a game 7. And his team helped go a 0 for 28 stretch from the 3-point line. And to say that James Harden wasn't penetrating is a lie, because he was penetrating in that fourth quarter and kicking out to who? Them brick throwing the teammates of his.
Oh, the same ones that was shooting.
How do you think that they went 0 for 28? It wasn't because they were creating their own shots. James Harden was creating wide open looks for them boys, and they couldn't hit the wide side of a barn with a blown up beach ball.
That was the first seed. Those brick shooting guys was hitting them for 82 games and the playoffs. They was the first seed.
Hey, like Stephen A. saying, butts get tight, palms get sweaty when you get to game 7 in the Western Conference Finals. And they couldn't, like I said, they couldn't hit squat. James Harden put up 30, and it wasn't nobody else on the team who even hit 20.
In the second half, he probably would have scored 5 points. In the fourth quarter, he probably would have hit some free throws.
You just hoping and assuming. Like none of that is based in facts. None of that is based in facts. The very next year, we got past Utah again. So we facing Golden State in the second round. Okay, now we have a lesser Chris Paul. That series went 5. We lost the first 2, won the second 2, lost the last 2. That's how the series went. So he put up 35 in game 1, 35, 3 steals, 6 assists, 4 boards. Game 2, 29 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal. Game 3, which we was down 0-2, couldn't go down 0-3. He put up 41, 6 assists, 9 rebounds. Game 4, he put up 38 points, 4 assists, 10 rebounds. The next 2 games, he put up 31, 4 steals, 8 assists, 4 boards. Elimination game where they facing elimination again with Chris Paul on his team now. 35 points, 4 steals, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Again, in an elimination game where he puts up 30 plus. But he choked in an elimination game. He comes up so small in an elimination game. This is a myth. This is a myth of James Harden.
You know what I'm saying?
And so you look at this year's series, and I'm finna let it go. This year's series, game 1, 37, 11 rebounds. Game 2, he put up 21. That was when they won by what, 30? No, they won by 13. They won by 13. That's when he had 21 points, 3 steals, 9 assists, 5 boards. But everybody was raving about Jordan. Jordan is just shutting them down. He's making them shoot pass. He takes them out of everything. 38 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Next game, 32 points, 4 steals, 15 assists, 8 rebounds. Next game, 31 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Next game, 32 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. Then we get to game 7. He has a horrible shooting night. Had 17 points. Oh, what I tell you. He comes up so small in elimination game because he had 17 points, 2 steals, 9 assists, 3 rebounds, and 3 blocks. 2 of them in the clutch. 2 of them in the fourth quarter down the stretch. The non-defense playing, choking, come up small James Harden. That's what he does in game 7.
So you co-signing yesterday's game?
I'm co-signing it from this standpoint. Is it not thought or disseminated that if you're an offensive player, but your offense you can't get your offense going. Shot ain't falling, you know what I'm saying? You're off that night, you can't get in a groove. Find another way to impact the game. Is that not a thing? Because as long as I've known, that's been a thing. If my shot ain't falling, my offense ain't going, well, let me help out on the rebound. Let me buckle down on defense. Let me get my teammates involved. And so that's what he did. His shot wasn't falling. He last night could not hit the wide side of a barn with a blown up beach ball, but he still dished out 9 assists. He got some steals, he got some rebounds, and he turned up on the defensive end. Every player's gonna have them nights where they shots ain't falling. Every player's gonna happen to them. But can you impact the game in a positive way in other areas?
He blocked 2 important shots down the stretch. All right.
Yeah, 3 blocks in the game, 2 of them late in the fourth quarter. The last one won the game.
But his man dropped 30. But he played great defense.
Bruh, don't do that. Don't do
all game long, but he impacted the game in different ways. He made 2 big plays in the clutch. I give him that. But don't think all game long he did things to impact the game. 3 guys outscored him on that Rocket team. The guy he was guarding goes off. Undrafted free agent
from game 4, game 5, the Rockets stopped guarding Dort. We not finna do that. We not finna do that.
You know that's James. James stays in the paint and he's not closing out on that man. That's that man's man.
Bro, first of all, Harden,
and he doesn't on that because it's Dort. If that's somebody else, Harden would have been on him. But since it was Dort in those games, Harden just laxed in the paint to take away the penetration from.
Why is that? Why is that? Why is he lagging in the paint and not running out and begging this boy to shoot? They started this in game 4, game 5. We not gonna let him shoot. We'd rather him shoot over Chris Paul, Gilchrist, or Schroeder. So James Harden was the help defender. He used to help rebound. He used to help stop penetration. That's what his role was. And so the boy goes out of his mind and shoots the ball like that from 3, and you want to say, oh, he gave up 30. Get out of here.
Kenfo. First of all, after the dude makes 1 or 2, I say 2 or 3. At that particular time, all right, when they swing it to that corner, I need to close out. I'm not going to keep watching the dude keep shooting them. And then finally, in the clutch situation, after he already had 30, they go in a timeout and they drawing up the play. Now he wants to close out on a block. Don't get me wrong, big play. But don't say he all game long played great defense. When he had 3 good plays, he blocked 3 shots.
I never said he played great defense. I said when your shot ain't falling, that you try to impact the game in other ways. And so That's what he did. Now, the game plan for the team was to let him shoot. At no point, because he made 1 or 2 threes, do you all of a sudden think, well, God damn it, man, he done made 2 or 3 threes. Now we need to guard him like he's Steph Curry or some damn body. Now, you let him keep shooting. Now, in the clutch, when the game is on the line, yes, I'm going to close out. I'm going to give everything I got to contest this shot. Because now it's in the clutch. Yes, now you didn't hit a few. And I don't care who it is. It could have been a center. Adams could have been out there catching the ball, finna shoot. You finna run out there to contest it in that situation. But the game plan is to let him shoot because the boy couldn't shoot. He went 0 for 7 one game. Like the boy ain't been a good shooter. Period. He played out of his mind in game 7. So you tip your cap, you salute the young brother for him showing up like he did in that situation, in that game. But at the end of the day, that was the game plan. Don't sit up and act like he just giving it to Harden, you know what I'm saying, taking it to him and drop 30 on him. He getting wide open looks. Looks that right now, your old, fat, out of shape self, pull it and drop 30 if they gonna just let you shoot. Real talk. If they say Dre, ain't nobody finna guard you. Ain't nobody finna do nothing. You stand out there, we gonna give you the ball. You can hit 30, bro. You can, real talk, you can get 30, man, in that situation. So stop the nonsense, man.
Listen, the man's reputation, you don't get me wrong, stats matters. Yes. In big time situations, we seen this man fold. But you looking at, even in those games that you want to bring out, he scored 32 in the Golden State game and all that. I guarantee you, if you go look how that game was played, he probably started off hot in the first quarter and dropped 18-20 in the first quarter. And then at halftime had 24. But if you go look at those elimination games, the one we're talking about, the reason why he has that reputation, when it's on the line in the second half, or when the pressure mounts, like DeRon said in a text, in a Facebook messenger, you know what I'm saying? If the game gets close and the pressure mounts more and more, that's when it was supposed to lean towards OKC because they've been clutch in those situations all year. But that's when James, when that pressure mounts, tends to fold and shy away. Chris Paul made those comments for a reason. That's not.
And then he backdoored and didn't show up in the clutch when his team needed it.
Yeah, he messed up. He did. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Those amount of times that's happened to Chris Paul is very little compared to times for James Harden.
Yeah, well, again, Chris Paul could never get past the second round. He could never get past the second round until he got with James Harden. That's the first time he ever got out the second round. He was a guy that was routinely getting hurt and or eliminated early in the playoffs. So Chris Paul don't got no credibility talking about somebody coming up in the clutch. Number one. Number two, and furthermore, when you talk about, but I bet if you go and look at those games in the fourth quarter, well, those teams make adjustments. Unlike our goddamn head coach, they make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a point where if he comes out hot, where teams say, you know what? We finna make the rest of these suckers beat us, man. We not finna let James Harden just beat us, bro. So you force him to drive. You get up in him. You get close to him. Get as physical as you can without getting a foul. But you force him to put the ball on the court and to pass it to these other dudes and make them make shots. We not finna let James Harden beat us. That is an adjustment. And so if that's the case, as a superstar, hold on, let me finish this. I'm gonna let you talk. As a superstar, as a player who is on a team, you have to have the ability to trust your teammates. That in that situation where you done got off hot to a hot start, now the defense is playing different. They playing you different. So your team has to understand, okay, they finna take it out of James' hand. They gonna force it out of James' hand. They gonna make him give up the ball. We gotta be ready. We gotta hit shots. We gotta make plays. And ain't none of them suckers ever stepped up and made the plays when they had to be made. And you talk about his reputation. Harden's reputation, like you, is based off of 3, at most 4 of his playoff games. All the games he didn't play since he been in Houston. You ask anybody, name the games where Harden came up small. San Antonio, Golden State Game 7, Golden, like they gonna bring up 1 or 2 Golden State games, a San Antonio game. That's it. That's all. Now, if you want to add this game here where they won the game as a game where he came up small, you can do that. But by and large, it's less than a handful of games where James Harden just played extremely poor. And the one time in San Antonio where I would agree with you, he flat out quit. He pissed me off. He flat out quit. That's the one game he quit. He had 2, at most 3 more games where he came up completely small. Shot the ball horribly, turned the ball over a whole lot, wasn't into it. That's what his reputation is based off of. So all the other games where in game 7s, he come up with 35, 8 and 7. He come up with 37, 8 and 2. He come up with 32, 6 and 6. He come up with 17, 9, 8 and 4 steals and 3 blocks with 1 in the goddamn clutch. Y'all still gonna hate on him and say that he come up small. It's a myth, man.
My turn?
Go ahead.
If those 4 games we're speaking in reference to, all 4 of them are elimination games. James Harden probably had another 3 or 4 bad playoff games, but we don't mention them because they wasn't big-time moments and big-time games. So those 4, you go with the other 3 or 4 that he actually showed up, because there ain't a lot of game 6s and 7s, because some of those series where we won 5-1 or 4-1 in 5 games or 4 games or won in 6 games and we won 4-2. There's never been the games that are on the line. We're going to get eliminated. Hold on.
Wait. I'm going to let you finish, but let me throw a question in there. So when a team is down 0-2, the Rockets, when they down 0-2, and you got to have a big game, that is the same thing as an elimination game if you go down 0-3. Yes, it is. You can't tell me that when you down 2 games and you looking at game 3, that game 3 is not the same as an elimination game. No team has ever come back from 0-3 deficit. No team.
But you're not going home. We're talking about the game. You lose this game, you go home. And if he's Antoine, if you do the record, he's probably 500 on elimination games, on games that he showed up and in the games that he stunk up the joint. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not. No, it's not. I just went through the numbers. Went through the numbers.
Right. Kinfolk, we're talking about elimination games. But if you go by the superstars, top 5 players in the game, which James Harden is up there, they don't have those 4 or 5 in elimination games that we can just throw out. You can't say that about LeBron. You can't say that about KD. You can't say that even about Chris Paul. You can't say that about Kyrie Irving.
I can't say that about Chris Paul, where in game 5 or game 6 when we played Golden State last year, his ass ain't show up. Game 7 this time, his ass ain't show up. Bruh, if you not getting out the first round, or the second round for the majority of your career, you ain't showing up, home.
That was James Harden's team. When Chris Paul wasn't hurt.
And top 5 player superstar.
Antoine, when Chris Paul wasn't with the Clippers or even OKC, when he's the man, it's on him. It's on his back. It's his squad. He ain't just disappear in elimination games and not show up. He's a point guard. And like he said in said some people are built for it. They led the NBA in
Yeah,
clutch.
he ain't got no business saying that. None.
All
If
right.
this came from LeBron, if it came from LeBron, if it came from Kawhi, you know what I'm saying? One of them dudes who got rings on their fingers, who done been to the NBA Finals, who done been to multiple trips to the Western Conference Finals, they can say that. His funk ass can't say a goddamn thing because this dude ain't never get out the goddamn first or second round until he got to H-time.
All right, regardless of all that.
Wait. Because let me bust your bubble right quick, partner. Game 7, when he was in New Orleans versus the Spurs. Elimination game.
Come on now. Come on. We said
on his team in the playoff that he showed up. He
okay,
came
so with OKC when he choked.
18 points, and 8 assists. The very next year against Denver, elimination game, 12 points, 6 assists. The very next year against the Lakers, 10 points, 8 assists. These are elimination games. The very next year with the Clippers, Memphis, he had 19 points, 4 assists in an elimination game. The next year against the Spurs, where they got swept. Dude couldn't even get one game. His first game, he had 6 points. The next game, 10 points. The next game, 12 points. He finally hit 20 points in an elimination game where they sunk that ass home. Next year against Memphis, again, he put up 28 and 8 in that game. The very next year, Golden State, elimination game, 22 and 14 assists. In that series that went 7 games, he hit over 20 points twice.
Chris Paul is not a scorer. He's a facilitator. He's a triple-double man.
Now let's move the goalpost. Let's move the goalpost.
You're talking about. If he kept up and played deep.
Let's move the goalpost, coach. Because I don't like the way it sounds. Let's move the goalpost. With the Clippers, again. Elimination game. 13 points, 9 assists. Very next year. Now he in Houston. So he in Houston. But okay. Golden State. Let me see. Golden State. This is his numbers for the series. And James, we needed a score. We needed him to score. He put up 17, then 18, then 14, then 13, then 11. And he got 27 in the elimination game.
How many assists? Low turnovers.
Okay, assists. He had 4 assists in game 1, 6 assists in game 2, 7, then 5, then 6, then 6. This last series that we played him this time, well, this is probably the best overall series that he didn't play that I can see just quickly scanning through his career. Where he had 20, 14, 26, 26, 16, 28, and in the elimination game, 19 with 6 turnovers. Where his ass ain't show up at all in the final 4 minutes of the game.
I know you don't want to bring up turnovers because we go through Harden's turnovers in the playoffs. See, that's what I'm saying. Now you want to throw in certain little things.
But you want to talk about. You said low turnover. You said low turnover.
He's the point guard. His assist to turnover ratio, his career is through the roof.
Mm-hmm. And in an elimination game, he had 6 of them. In an elimination game, he had 6. Hey, man. Hey, I done made my point. I done made my point.
How many games had? He had 5 tonight. So how many he had this night? He had 5 the other night.
5 what?
James had 5 and Westbrook had 7.
Oh, that was game 6. That was game 6. That was game 6. That wasn't game 7. Game 7, game 7, Harden had 3 turnovers. He had 3 turnovers. He had 9 assists. He had 17 points.
I'm not finna debate Chris Paul and Harden because everybody gonna say Chris Paul is clutch.
I know, because y'all don't know no damn better. Y'all don't know no better. Y'all hate Harden so much. So much. Well, I done showed the world. I hope y'all done paid attention to this game I done put in y'all face. It comes down to 3 or 4 games out of all the games he didn't play in H-Town, all the playoff games he didn't did, all the big numbers he didn't put up. It's 3 to 4 games that y'all want to sit up and label him as a choker, as coming up small, as not playing up to his level. Get up out of here, man.
Let me quickly clarification, because like I said, the stats do show a lot, but everybody knows that some of those games you speaking that he might have scored 30, how the game really played out. And them second half,
I didn't address that. I didn't address that.
Let me hear out your mouth. You mean to tell me your defense is James Harden actually steps up big in elimination games? That's what you want to tell the people.
What I'm telling the people is that it's a myth that every time that it's an elimination game, every time that it's a big game in the playoffs, that James Harden comes up small. That is a lie. It has been perpetuated by dudes like you and them clowns on TV. It's not a fact. It's not based in fact. It's not. So
Paul made that statement. You don't think the player
had no doggone room to say nothing like that.
Hold on. The NBA Player Association president, who's around, best friends with the Banana Boat Boys and all that. Hold on, let me finish. Who was teammates with Harden in these crucial elimination situations. You don't think that some of these players around the league, even remember, we even talk about Giannis in the All-Star, the comments he made, stuff like that. You don't think these NBA players honestly feel, hey, he's a big-time player, that boy is talented and cold, but in elimination games, he kind of shy away from the pressure. You don't think that NBA players truly feel like that about Harden?
First of all, I'm going to address that. But first of all, to Chris Paul, he is the least successful player in the Banana Boat crew when it comes to NBA career and playoff success. Number 2, being that he got traded for Westbrook, how you know he wasn't talking about Westbrook? Coming off a situation where Westbrook turned the ball over in the clutch. He shot an air ball from 7 feet away. He had 2 big-time turnovers and an air ball. He played horribly down the stretch. So how you know? Hold on. Let me finish. How you know he wasn't talking about Westbrook? You want it to be that he was talking about Harden and that he was referencing Harden, but how you know he wasn't talking about Westbrook? Furthermore, let me go on to your next little question where you want to assume, and make assumptions and innuendo about what other NBA players think, may or may not think. Okay. Now, what Giannis said during the All-Star game was first doing when they was picking, said that he wanted to pick somebody who was going to pass the ball. So that's him trying to say that Harden don't pass the ball, that he, selfish, which is ludicrous. But whatever. Okay. Then after they ass lost in the All-Star game, his excuse was, we was trying to, attack James Harden. Whoever he was Harden, whoever he was guarding. And how did that work out for him? That worked out goddamn well, since y'all tried to go at Harden and your ass lost, and the people that's going at him wasn't doing all that damn much scoring in the fourth quarter when it counted. So I'm let the move that nonsense to the side. Do I think that NBA players look at James Harden and think, man, this dude comes up small in the clutch? Now, not if they look at the numbers. If they not paying attention to the media and they really looking at what's going on, if they really paying attention to how teams are playing him down the stretch, playing him in the fourth quarter. Now, there are games. I'm not sitting up here trying to say that James Harden don't have clunkers of games where, like I say, he can't hit the wide side of a ball. But that happens in a regular season. That's what James Harden ain't a knockdown Steph Curry type shooter. And we didn't all seen him in a regular season go 7 for 22, go 4 for 19 in the regular season. We didn't see this. He didn't had horrible shooting games in the regular season, just like he has in the playoffs. The games that are unforgivable is the Golden State game where you got 14 points and 12 turnovers. That's an unforgivable game. When you quit on your team with 10 points, when Kawhi ain't playing and Tony Parker ain't playing, and you quit on your team, that's unforgivable. Having a bad shooting night ain't unforgivable. We've seen it from Harden. We're going to continue to see it from Harden. He has his nights where he's on fire. He has his nights where he's shooting extremely well, getting to the paint, all of that. He has his bad shooting night. But it's a myth that this boy come up small and that he chokes every time it's a big game, every time it's an elimination game, every time it comes down the stretch in the clutch. That's a lie. It's a myth, and it's been perpetuated for too long. And God dog it, I'm tired of it. So we didn't spend way too long on this topic, but I had to shut some of these suckers up, man. Because I'm telling you, man, I didn't had it. I didn't had it, bro. I didn't had it. So now, man, let's go ahead and let's jump on this AFC, man. Football is a week away, exactly 1 week from today. Kansas City kicks off the NFL season. So let's go on ahead and touch on this AFC, man. We're gonna go and start off with your division, the weakest division in the entire AFC, and one of the weakest divisions in all of football, the AFC South. Who's y'all biggest problem? And what y'all gonna do, man?
I ain't gonna let you disrespect my conference like that. You know what I'm saying? We had two teams go to the second round of the playoffs last year. One of them went to the AFC Championship game and had the Chiefs on the ropes. We had the Chiefs on the ropes. The Colts is a legitimate team. They got probably the best offensive line in football. Very solid defense, and now they got Phillip Rivers. So, you know, the Jags are they in a Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. So, but from a division standpoint, I'm scared of them Titans, man. I'm scared of them Titans. Titans, they legit. You already know how I feel about the head coach, man. I really wish we could have kept him. I like Vrabel. I love those old school mentality, tough nose coaches that knows how to get the best out of their players. And Vrabel can do that, man. I like him as a head coach. I like Henry in the backfield. I think what's just the only thing that's going to hurt the Titans, Ryan Tannehill's respected, decent quarterback, but I don't think he got enough to really get him over that hump. You know what I'm saying? And then now they kind of exposed a little bit. We know what they about, you know, and teams are going to load up that box. Don't get me wrong. They got a nasty wide receiver in Brown. And I do salute you on that. You called it in the draft. Even though DK Metcalf is still the truth in Seattle, A.J. Brown is, you know, he the truth. You know, he better than I thought. I thought DK was going to be the man. And it just made me look at Mississippi State a little bit different. I mean, Ole Miss a little different. Like how you had both of them receivers and did make a little bit more noise than they did.
Right.
But,
quarterback,
Tennessee,
though.
the solid defense. So I think that quarterback play and the fact that I think teams are going to really gear up to stop Henry. Henry gonna do what he do, but he ain't gonna have that major impact like he did last year. Them monster games, them 200 yards rushing and all that. But Tennessee still will be a problem. The Colts, man, that Phillip Rivers, that offensive line, that damn T.Y. Hilton is he's a cancer for us Texans. So now that he got a legit quarterback, and they, like I said, they got a solid defense too. Colts are going to be a problem as well. Now my only thing with Phillip is he's a little bit older. He's still a savvy vet, sound, good football IQ, but he's a gunslinger a little bit. So he's going to take some chances, and I think that's what helped us beating them or Tennessee beating them, one of them late turnovers in the game, which Phillip Rivers is known for at certain times. So, but I think the Titans, Colts, Texans is going to be tough. But the difference for me, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Texans fan, is that boy Deshaun. I think he got that it factor. He got the X factor, as they say, and he give us the edge over Tennessee and Indianapolis for as a division. I think it's going to be a kind of repeat of last year, but I actually think since the NFL is expanding the playoffs, the Colts might slide in. So you might talk about our division, but we might be the only one, along with the NFC South, that might have 3 teams in the playoffs. So, the AFC East is going to take a step back. Don't get me wrong, Cam, I like Cam with the Patriots. And I don't love the fact, but I think Josh McDaniels will get to have some fun, calling some more plays, different styles, some little runs for Cam and all that. But he don't have those weapons. Manu Sanu just got cut. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really looking at their wide receiver core and like, okay, you got a little young stud that he might turn out pretty good. And you got the Edelman. But outside of that, I don't think he got enough help. I really don't. His running back core is it's all right, but I think that's what's going to hurt Cam is he's going to have the effect that Brady had. He might could do a little bit more with less because he can run, and Josh McDaniels get to run a whole different type of offense, a different type of stuff that teams might not be ready for. But for the most part, I think the Patriots take a step back because of that. Buffalo, though, I got Buffalo winning that division. Not only were they good last year and the playoff team with a very good defense, but they had Stephon Diggs over there. That quarterback get another year under his belt. I love what they doing in Buffalo, and I think Buffalo's going to win the AFC East. Patriots going to be second in division. The Jets, I do think, are going to get a little bit better, same as Miami, but, they're a couple years away. AFC North, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson. I still think they're going to be an extremely dangerous team, probably up there with the top 3 teams in the AFC. But I think teams might be a little bit more prepared for Lamar's running. So I'm interested to see what Baltimore is going to do for us, the passing game, and see if Lamar is going to be actually passing the ball more in certain situations. Now, they might make it simple for him. Go ahead.
I wanted you to get on your division, and we was gonna move on to these other divisions. You just going through the whole damn. Oh no, damn!
I'll finish up my division plain and simple. Texans first, Titans close second with a game behind, and I think the Colts and Titans probably be tied, but say Titans might have the better division record. You know what I'm saying? But I got us still winning the division. I got us because, don't get me wrong, Hopkins leaving the team hurts a lot. He was my favorite receiver besides Andre Johnson. Probably like my 3rd best Texan of all time. But I actually think having more depth makes us a little bit more dangerous offensively. You know what I'm saying? Having Cobb, having Cooks, Fuller, Steels, you know what I'm saying? David Johnson, Duke Johnson, all our tight ends are healthy now. I think we gonna spread the ball more, and I think that makes Deshaun a little bit more dangerous. And I actually think David Johnson is gonna have a better rushing season than Carlos Hyde had for us last year, even though Carlos Hyde had 1,000 yards, because I think he's going to not only get 1,000 yards rushing, but he probably going to get about 500-600 yards receiving, if not more. So I like my squad in the division. I like the defense. I think we just need one more pass rusher. You know, I know it's not going to happen, but wishfully thinking, I would love for them to pick Clowney back up just to give us one more pass rusher. But I'm interested to see what our rookie going to do. If our rookie can come in and give us something towards the middle of the season, all the way to the playoffs, for as pass rushing is concerned, and Jannard, then we might be cooking then. But we'll see. But I like the Texans in my division.
Well, I haven't fully decided yet on who I got between Tennessee and Indianapolis, but they are the cream of the crop in that division, and so it's gonna come down between those two teams. I think that those teams are just more complete now. Tannehill could, turn back into the pumpkin that he is and that he was in Miami, and not play as well, but receiving core, um, running game, offensive line, defense, like both those teams are just better than Houston in all of those areas. They're just better. Deshaun Watson does have the it factor. I'll give him that. But my critique of um, Deshaun Watson coming out of college was that I felt he wasn't um, as accurate as you would want your quarterback to be, and that really showed itself a lot more when he could not hit the top of his drop and get the ball out to his first read. That didn't mean that he couldn't go through his progression, but the more that he got into his progressions, his 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 mechanics wasn't up to par. So his ball was far more inaccurate when he had to go to his second read, his third read, his fourth read. On top of that, in college, he had Mike Williams, big receiver, could throw the ball up to him. He gonna go get it. Gets to the Houston Texans. Hopkins ain't a big receiver, but his catch radius is is spectacular. It is amazing for a guy his size. He has the catch radius of a Julio Jones, of a Megatron. You know what I'm saying? Even though he don't got their size, they length, but he can go up and get the ball. He has great hands. So that also helped Deshaun Watson on balls that probably wasn't pinpoint accurate, but Nuke is gonna bring that ball in and do something with it. Him not having that is gonna be the thing to see for the Houston Texans. That's gonna be the thing to see. How is he going to adjust to not having that go-to guy that he knows that on 3rd and 8, get it in his vicinity. It don't gotta hit him between the numbers. You ain't gotta put it out in front of him where he can keep running with it. Put it in his vicinity. He gonna come down with the ball 9 times out of 10. Not having that is gonna be a big time adjustment. Houston don't have the defense, has not had the defense for a number of years. Regardless of what they look like at certain points in the season, secondary has been an Achilles heel for the Texans for as long as I can remember. J.J. Watt has gotten older. He doesn't have the same impact on the game now that he had 4 or 5 years ago, where he by himself could wreck a game plan and was virtually unblockable. He's not that dude no more. and with you not having another pass rusher, with your secondary being suspect, and not really knowing how your quarterback is going to adjust. I'm not saying that Cooks and Cobb, injury-prone receivers, not saying that they're not going to be able to show up and play well, but the fact of the matter is neither one of them is new. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna give the same type of impact as DeAndre Hopkins did. So I got them 1-2. I got Houston as the third team in the division. You know what I'm saying? 3 teams making it to the playoffs out that division. Hell no, ain't happening, Captain. Now we will move on. I'm gonna move on to the AFC East, but since that's the next division that you went to, and that's another division to me that's up in the air because between Buffalo and New England, either one of those teams can come out of that division. All 4 teams are going to be competitive with each other, especially if Darnold can stay healthy this year. The Jets just played differently when he was actually starting and playing. So, he'll make a big impact on that team if he can stay healthy and make that division extremely tough with Miami. Because Miami is another team that defensively they play well. They got better and better offensively. There's going to be some growing pains with Tua, but Tua is the truth. You know what I'm saying? That boy that could play. That's the first Alabama quarterback that came out, and I don't know how long, that can actually play, I believe, on this level, on the NFL level. So Miami ain't going to be a pushover. But for people counting out the New England Patriots, man, y'all better stomp on y'all own feet. Wake yourself up. Catch your breath or something, man, because Bill Belichick, man, is a great coach. He's the greatest coach of this era. You know what I'm saying? And arguably the greatest coach of all time. He's going to put Cam in a manageable and winning situation. Now, Cam hasn't played with great talent on the outside. Even when he was in Carolina, there wasn't no great receivers out there. Like, he didn't come when Steve Smith was there, playing in his prime or nothing like that. He may have played 1 year with Steve Smith, but Steve Smith was at the back end of his career. He had Kelvin Benjamin, who ended up being a bust. He wasn't nothing but a big receiver. They got some guys there now that got speed, but, ain't none of them, number 1 receivers. So he's never had that. I don't think that it's going to be a big issue for him in New England, quite honestly. It's just going to come down to Josh McDaniels' ability to scheme guys open. If he can scheme guys open, Cam just got to get them the ball. They'll be able to run the football, play good defense, and it's going to come down. Look, Cam, don't lose the game. Don't turn the ball over. If you got to run to pick up a first down, run and pick up a first down. We'd like you to get down or get out of bounds and taking hits. But we're going to let you use your legs. We're going to use that big arm that you got. And, that's going to keep us in a position to win games. They're going to have a great special teams. Like I say, defense, all of that. So I'm not counting out the Patriots. I'm going to go ahead, since I'm going to make a pick at this point without seeing anything and knowing that N'Keal Harry, that's unfortunate. That young brother is injured again, got injured, I seen a couple weeks ago. I don't know how long he out. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Buffalo for right now. But I got New England as a close number 2 who could end up being the number 1 seed in that division. So you started touching on the AFC South. That's a division that I go ahead.
No, I was saying North.
Oh yeah, the North. I'm sorry. AFC North, and that's a division where that's the division out the AFC that I think could have 3 teams make it to the playoffs, and that's Pittsburgh, Big Ben comes back this year. They had a really, really good defense last year, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to think, did they make the playoffs last year? Or they got eliminated? They got eliminated the last game of the season. Tomlin, who I thought was probably a bit overrated for the most part, because I thought when he came in, he really took over. Uh, the old coach. I don't remember his name. Bill Cowher. Yeah. He took over Bill Cowher's team. You know what I'm saying? Kind of kept everything the same. And was that motivating factor. That's what I thought he was. They did make the Super Bowl after Cowher left, but like I said, I thought he had that same type of team roster. And then after that, they a playoff team every year. Could get to the second round, could get to the championship game, but couldn't get over the hump. Last year showed his coaching chops because they went through like 3 quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? They still didn't have a losing season. So they got a great coach, good coaching staff. I feel like that defense is underrated, man. People don't talk about Pittsburgh's defense like they probably used to talk about them when they had the old defensive coordinator. But they still a real good defense.
Dick, Dick, what's his name? Dick something.
Yeah, him. Because I'm thinking Dick Vermeer, but that's the offensive coach. It's the head coach. But so I think that they defense gonna be real good. And Big Ben, man, he just win, bro. Big Ben just win, dog. And so I don't think that Pittsburgh is gonna be a team to be dismissed or overlooked. Will I put Baltimore as the favorite? Yeah, I'll put them as the favorite in that division. But Pittsburgh is making the playoffs this year. Unless there's another big time injury where Big Ben misses a lot of games, I think that they're gonna make the playoffs. That offense is gonna be better with Big Ben in it. They still got weapons over there on offense and at the running back position. They're not gonna be a walkover. Cleveland is gonna make the playoffs this year. I got them making the playoffs this year. That's another team with a strong defense. They got all the weapons in the world on offense. They got a new coach who is from the Shanahan tree. You know what I'm talking about? And so he gonna get that team right, man. He gonna get that team right. At least I think he's from Shanahan tree. But I think Cleveland gonna make the playoffs this year. If they don't, they gotta find another quarterback. It's Baker's fault. I don't care what happened. It's Baker's fault, man. You can't have this many weapons on your team on offense with the players that they got on defense and not make the playoff. It can't happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you lead off, man, for the AFC West, last division out the AFC. Then we're gonna go on ahead and give our division winners, you know what I'm saying, from 1 to 7. Well, the teams we think gonna make the playoff from 1 to 7.
AFC West, Kansas City. They gonna do their thing. I'm scared about what they're gonna do with that rookie running back from LSU. Lord have mercy. It's just they grabbed another another jewel out of the draft that really gonna make them tough to defend on that offense. So Kansas City's gonna be Kansas City. I think they're gonna win the division. I like what Denver's doing. I like Locke. I think he can be a decent quarterback in time, but he's gonna take his bumps and bruises. Um, I'm really, really torn between Denver and the Raiders for as actually second place in that division. I think the Chargers, really it's gonna be a 3-team race for a second. I mean, after Kansas City, it's a pick 'em. Chargers. I don't know with Tyron Taylor. We're gonna see with the Chargers, but the Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, it's a pick 'em to me. You know what I'm saying? It can go either way. In the future, though, I like Denver to slowly start progressing and really start challenging the Chiefs in a couple years. Like I said, I think Drew Lock is going to be something special. You know, give him a couple years and he's going to be a sound quarterback. Um, but yeah, that's with the AFC West. Outside of that, well, I want to see the effects of moving to Vegas, even though they ain't gonna have no fans for the first couple games. But I want to know if that buzz in the city and it being in Vegas, new scenery, do that help the Raiders out a little bit? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure later on in the regular season, if they start having fans and full stadium capacities, what kind of home field advantage they gonna have? You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to see if that black hole gonna travel to Vegas. But
Right.
for the most, I got the Chiefs. I'm gonna lean. Man, I really like the Chargers. I like the head coach. I like they signed your boy's brother to the long term contract, Bosa. Um, I'll lean on Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. But it's gonna be very, very close. Very, very close.
I got Chiefs also, of course, but I got the Raiders coming in second, man. I thought it was a point last year where the Raiders was playing extremely good football. Nobody kind of expected it, but they was playing really well. It's like they started to really understand Gruden's offense and his scheme, what he wants from his quarterback. Now they got a big loss. Terrell Williams got hurt, and I think he's out for the season. But they still got weapons, man. That big tight end that they got, I was hoping. I was watching Hard Knocks. I think it was last year. I was praying that they cut that dude, man. So the San Fran, and so that my boy could go pick him up. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, he's a weapon. So I mean, but they got weapons. They got a good running back over there. They generally like to keep a good offensive line. It's gonna come down to their defense to me. That's gonna be the wild card to see if they can elevate themselves. The Chargers, they got the defense. Um, Tyrod Taylor, I don't know about him. I don't think that he's good enough to carry the offensive load. And they lost the running back that they had, Melvin Gordon. So I don't know how good they running game gonna be without him. They had some good games without him last year running the football, but having Melvin Gordon is just different. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
He go.
he is. I think, huh?
Where did he go? What
I,
team did Melvin Gordon go to?
I want to say he went to the Rams.
Okay. He
Yeah,
took
I want
over.
to say he went to the Rams for Gurley,
Yeah, okay.
but I don't quote me on that. Um,
So he just
I
switched
don't.
locker room over
I don't have my I don't have
there.
my list in front of me of the free agent acquisitions and all that type of stuff. Um, but yeah, so I think that they're gonna come in third, and even though for Denver, um, I think they're gonna have a solid defense. It seemed like their defense been kind of going downhill lately. The quarterback looks promising, but as far as offensive weapons, the only one that's over there that I know of off the top is Cortland Sutton. Now that boy is a monster. That's
Didn't
another
they?
one that I that's another one that I saw. You know what I'm saying? I was right about. You know what I'm talking about? I'm pretty good when it comes to this draft thing. You know what I'm talking about? Not to toot my own horn, but I was right about that. Duncan ain't on here. Yeah, Dunk. I'm saying I told you so, boy. I try to tell you. Imagine Cortland Sutton in Dallas instead of Galloway. That'd be scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he in Denver though. But yeah, so I got Denver pulling up the rear. I got Denver pulling up the rear. So real quick, man, let's go and get up off this video. Give me your playoff teams, top through the number 7 seed out the AFC. I'm gonna give you mine, then we're gonna go to NFC. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go NFC first, then you're gonna come behind me. Playoff team.
Chiefs. You
better not take the Texans.
Are we going in the order of the seeding?
In the order of the seeding, yes.
Yeah. So I got Chiefs, and I got. Now look, I don't know. I don't have the schedules of each team and strength of schedules and stuff.
Right,
I think
right.
I think we're gonna start off 1-1 because we got the hardest 2 first games in all of football. So with the Chiefs.
No, y'all don't. No, y'all don't. Y'all do not play San Francisco in y'all first 2 games. Get up out of here, man.
The Ravens. So we got, McHolmes and the back-to-back MVPs, you know what I'm saying, and Holmes and Lamar Jackson. But
Okay.
I think we'll go 1-1. So I actually don't care what you say. Chiefs 1. I think we're gonna be 2. I still got Ravens 3. Titans 4.
It can't be two. It can't be 2 teams out the same division in the top 4.
I got Buffalo. You're right. Buffalo's 4. Titans 5. Steelers 6. Patriots 7.
Okay, so I got Baltimore winning the number 1 seed again. I got Kansas City winning the number 2 seed. I got Buffalo / the Patriots winning the number 3 seed. I got Tennessee / Indianapolis winning the number 4 seed. Whichever of them teams don't win a division, that's 5 and 6.
Okay. Yeah, one more. There's a new playoff team this year.
No. I'm putting
right?
Pittsburgh at 5.
Oh, okay.
Putting Pittsburgh at 5. And then the losers of the Patriots, Bills, and the loser of the Patriots, Bills, and Colts, Titans is going to be the 6 and 7 seed. I got Houston missing the playoffs.
The hate, boy, I love it, man.
It ain't hate, man. I'm just giving you my opinion. All right, so now for the NFC, I got my Niners winning the number 1 overall seed.
I don't know why you had to think about it. You know why you was even taking long.
I'm trying to be, I'm not trying to be biased right now. But continuity, the whole thing, so I got them number 1. I got Tampa as the number 2 seed. I got Minnesota as the number 3 seed. I got Philly as the number 4 seed. So I mean, Minnesota's the number 3 seed, Philly as the number 4 seed. I got New Orleans as a 5. I got Green Bay as a 6. I got Dallas as a 7.
All right.
No. I got Seattle.
I was just about to say.
I got Seattle as the 7th seed. I got Dallas missing the playoff. Hey, man, I'm being objective. Right now.
Okay, man. I hope you got some bullets in your pistol, boy, because you know you're up there in D-time.
Enemy territory, you know what I'm talking about? Behind enemy lines, man. I'm still behind enemy lines, man.
All right. Well, I got New Orleans #1 seed. I got New Orleans #1. Oh, hold on. I forgot. Leonard Fournette in Tampa is very interesting. Even though they got Shady McCoy, but I think Shady's little.
That's why I got them winning that division, man.
Yeah, Shady's just little old.
He's the third down back.
Yeah, Fournette is still young, and yeah, I think him being over there with that talent and Brady, they're gonna get the best out of him. Coaching staff. Jacksonville was a cancer for him. So, hey, I actually got you right. Hey, I got Tampa #1. Philly. No, hold on. Yeah, no.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come to the west side. West side is the best side. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, baby.
Regular season, #2 seed, I actually got Green Bay for #2. And the reason why is because, well, I'll get to that in a minute. So I got Green Bay 2. Then I got Seattle 3. I got Philadelphia 4, and then I got, for a wild card, I got New Orleans. The other card is going to be 6 wild card. Actually,
you got Minnesota, you got Dallas, you got the Rams, you got Arizona.
Yeah, I'm going. Minnesota's is a 6. Nah. Yeah. Minnesota's 6. And then 7 is 49ers / Cardinals / Cowboys / Atlanta. I like what Atlanta doing. With Gordon, Julio Jones, Matt.
Hey, everybody who sees this video gonna see through what you doing, man. They gonna see through what you doing, dog. Bro. Wait. Let me ask you a serious question.
Texas missing the playoffs.
Let me ask you a serious question.
Honestly speaking, in the NFC West, I think y'all a good team, but y'all caught everybody off guard. Y'all was surprised at last year. So I don't trust your quarterback. I think he's just a good, solid game manager. I like what the other teams in your division are doing. So I think y'all gonna beat each other up. I just think Seattle, being the veteran squad, being together the longest, I think they got the better head. Well, I love Shanahan. You know what I like about Kyle Shanahan. But experience-wise, they got the better head coach. And it's not much because Seattle.
Oh.
Seattle. But I love Kyle Shanahan. You know that. I just hate that he's wearing them damn 49ers colors. I hate that shit.
So in essence, you believe in the Super Bowl hangover.
I don't like the Chiefs.
So that's the only way you can explain us going from winning the division, going to the Super Bowl, going 13-3, to now fighting and scraping with 3 other teams to win the final playoff spot.
Yeah, I think y'all were kind of like what Carolina did a few years back when they went to Super Bowl, but came. You know what I'm saying? They got to the Super Bowl, it's a solid team, but it kind of caught people off guard. They was hot at the right time. You know, just solid, good play on defense and offense, ground and pound type team. And same thing with y'all. Y'all a run-based team with a great, I'm not gonna say great, good defense. And I think teams are going to adjust. I think the Seahawks making the right moves. I like what the Cardinals did with the trade and their draft picks. And I'm hearing, I underestimated, I forgot about, they got Isaiah Simmons over there with the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? I like what they doing over there. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
like
when it got them that rookie, he finna come through and just wreck everything. And
that.
man, look here, man.
Signings. They had some good free agent signings on defense. I just got don't have my paper in front of me.
Okay,
But
okay. Let's skip all that. Who you got representing for the Super Bowl? I want the Super Bowl pick right now. Now we will be able to go back when the playoffs start, you know what I'm saying, and revisit this. But right now, early prediction, who you got representing in the Super Bowl?
man, that's a hard one. I'm going to say Texans versus New Orleans.
I salute you, bro. Look, at this point, how you gonna explain to all your friends you ain't picked the Texans, you know what I'm saying, being Super Bowl?
First, and the only reason why New Orleans is because I think there's going to be a key injury, two or three key injuries with Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? And I think Tampa Bay is going to get them in the playoffs in the NFC Championship game. Depending on the seed, of course, you know, somewhere in the playoffs, depending on when they play. But I got Texans versus, you know, Houston going to redeem themselves and beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And you know, it's a trend right now. You got Lamar had his good year. You got Mahomes had his year. I think it's Watson's year. He's the MVP as well too. Book it. I said it. Watson is the MVP this year with no Hopkins.
Anyway, I'm going rematch of last year's Super Bowl. Going rematch. 4-9 versus KC. You know what I'm talking about? And this time, we hold our goddamn lead in the fourth quarter. And we pull this thing out and we get number 6. Man, it's really nothing else to be said, man. I really think my team for us, even though we had a lot of injuries last year, you know, that we was able to overcome. This year is going to be important that we don't have any big time injuries to, you know, our major players, our main guys. So going into the season, the offensive line is kind of in question, especially in the middle. But I think we got enough talent in that room. Adding Jordan Reed was a big add. People don't understand how big of a signing that was. Especially since you talk about the boy that they signed, that they drafted, Arizona, you know, that they drafted for Kittle. Seattle when it got Buda Baker for Kittle, you know. But what y'all gonna do with Jordan Reed on the other side? You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna be a problem. He a problem, man. As a route runner, as a pass catcher, his only issue has been the injuries or the concussions. You know what I'm saying? So his health is gonna be important. It's gonna be big. But while he healthy, he gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got a rematch, man. That's my Super Bowl pick. And I know for the NFC side, it's not gonna change. The camera, yeah, okay. Yeah, that ain't gonna switch around. So man, look, you got any last words, man? You got some hate you want to throw out about my pick?
Cowboy fans, I know y'all up there, D-Town, Ken folks and all that. I just can't, I can't I don't see enough from them to really make the player. I don't see them beating Philly, and I don't think they're going to have a big enough record. I actually think the change in coaching staff, even though it's a better move for them, it's going to take them a year or two to really gel and understand and buy in, stuff like that.
That's why I'm at. That's why I'm at, especially on defense.
Yeah, they're extremely talented, but I agree with your assessment earlier on text messenger. Yeah, they trying to buy their Super Bowls, and you already know how that works.
Yeah, man, my brother and Deron is sitting up. Oh well, we ain't going out getting big names. We getting veterans. Whoopty whoopty whoop. Gerald McCoy is a known player in the NFL. He's a Pro Bowler. Alden Smith is a Pro Bowler, All Pro in the NFL. Dontari Poe is a known name, big name player in the middle. Griffin that they just signed from Minnesota is a Pro Bowl, All Pro player. Come on, bro. Y'all went and signed Ha Clinton Dix, even though they cut him. Now you cut him, and now everybody in Dallas is talking about, oh, we're going to get Earl. Really? Earl Thomas. Oh, man, get up out of here, man. You trying to buy yourself a Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't earn it with draft picks the old-fashioned way where you build up your roster. And they say, well, where every team signs 6, 7 people, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Okay, so if that's the case, where they said that my team signed 7 people. I can't name 7 free agents on my team. And if we did, any players that we did sign, we signed them as training camp bodies. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, take some of these reps, so that because, some of our players, been getting kind of dinged up. So you sign a extra tight end, you sign an extra defensive lineman or cornerback or safety. We ain't going out there. What'd you say?
They're going to play special teams mostly for starting off.
If they make it, you know what I'm saying? If they make, we signed Tavon Austin. Tavon Austin is going on IR. If he do make the team, because this year, with the COVID or whatever, you get to put veterans on your practice squad. If he make my team, he going on the practice squad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't going out trying to sign, well-known all-pro, Pro Bowl players to one side of the ball. Like they had an elite offense, as the numbers would put it, but defensively they wasn't. And you go sign 4, 5 former all Pro Bowl players on your team, and you ain't trying to buy the Super Bowl. Come on, man. I ain't got no money for no whoop tickets, man. I got bills to pay.
And I don't care what they say, man. And I understand the Dak situation and all that. I hear both sides of it, but if I'm Dak and I see you releasing and cutting some of these players that you signed this off season, and you free up some money, because that's what they happened when they cut McCoy, and now they cut Clinton. That's freeing up some money they just used to sign these players. And you go get Earl, and you ain't paid me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You ain't moving contracts to make sure I get my extension. You know what I'm saying? But you moving this to get all these players.
I didn't already said it. This how much time you got with Dak, man. Yeah, it don't matter what you do. You got 2. You're down to 2. No matter what you do. That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? That boy gonna get up out of there, man. You can't keep disrespecting that man like that and think he just gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? He could ball out and think that y'all gonna come in. All right, now we ready to pay you. See, this is a family show, which is why I don't really say what I want to say that Dak is thankful. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know. Y'all know.
I like Haskins. I'm wishing Haskins all the luck. You know what I'm saying? Black quarterback, Washington team, whatever their mascot is or whatever. But in 2 years, he might not have made it or it ain't paying out. I would love to see Dak in Washington.
Yeah, especially if they change ownership. They change stuff in there, up in that front office. and you got a coach that didn't, work with a black quarterback that has success, been to the Super Bowl, I would not put it past the realm of possibility at all.
I would just love it as a football fan. The
Oh yeah,
storyline.
me too. For him to give Dallas the business twice a year, what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I love that too.
the Giants got the old coach, what I'm saying, the offensive coordinator up
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So I would love those former Cowboys to come back and stick it to the Cowboys on a regular basis.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
I know
All right,
everybody.
man. We didn't went 2 hours, man. So we finna go and get up out of here. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna get back on this thing, man. At some point, talk about these Rockets again. Y'all put some respect on the Beard name. For real, for real. Tell your friends about me, dog. We out of here.